I'm trying to get it. No. Oh, it's still going. Look what? What? I'm looking. I don't think it's going. Oh, it is going.
That's right.
See, I was telling you.
Right. No,
now you had me talking into the show, and I didn't even see what I was saying.
That's what they all say.
Welcome to another episode of Unchained with me.
And me.
Listen here. Okay, I started this. You're supposed to be the help. You have to wait till I finish talking, okay?
The hardest working kid in comics.
Before, he couldn't talk. Now he wants to take over. He even told me not to come to this show. He's like, I got it.
I can do it all.
Guest. I got it. I know what I'm doing. I don't need anybody else. But before we bring our amazing guest, oh, I thought you were going to take care of that too.
Sorry, what?
Jumping on the hill to pay those bills, we want to make sure that we send a shout out to our amazing sponsor, Geek Out. That's right. If you're in Burleson, Texas, DFW, or in Mansfield, which they have their second location there, make sure you stop out at Geek Out Comic and Games.
And games,
isn't it? Yeah. It's Geek Out. That's the main thing. It's
Geek Out, D&D, tabletop games, comics, books, and collectibles.
One of the biggest LCSs in the area. Definitely check them out. It's an experience in itself. Geek Out Comics. Thanks so much for having us.
Who are we having today?
Who are we having? Who?
I don't know. Who are we having today?
I thought you were going to introduce her. You going to do it or me?
Drum roll, please. Corissa Grant.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm getting by. I'm trying to.
I'm only here because he asked me.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Which one's the favorite? Which one's the favorite?
Where's the
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I agreed. Otherwise, forget it.
I thought it was me.
You thought wrong.
You chose him to do your dirty work for a reason. You must know the truth.
I was driving from the convention, which we had an amazing convention this past week, San Angelo, Texas. It was
phenomenal.
Really,
my first time selling. So
and we're trying to get back in the groove of streaming and stuff. And I told him who would be an amazing guest to get, and he was like,
"Don't you dare." He's making fun of you and
No, I'm not. I'm not making fun of y'all at all.
They're only here to see me and him anyway. So
hey, as long as they're here, I don't care. Come see Chris Grant. Come see him.
Yeah. So it was a good convention.
Yeah.
Guess who paid the bills?
He took me to eat steak.
Wow.
I'm not gonna complain.
The big man now.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I made a dollar or two, but man, he killed it out there. Yeah.
So
this is cuter.
So okay, before we get on, I don't know if you've seen the show or not, but usually we talk to our guests. We talk about topics that are going on in either the comic world or pop culture. Of course, if you're running a campaign, which you are. An amazing campaign, which I'd love to tell everybody about. We'd like to touch on it for a second here, and then kind of come back around at the end. So, tell us about the campaign for a quick second.
So this is issue 8, and it's my 1 year. Well, so it's my one. I've been doing this for about 14 months, but it's my 1 year doing this artist with this series. So, because our first campaign was last January, so it's been 1 year. And I don't know, it blew up more than I thought it was going to.
No, I'm telling you, and like I said, I did 5 issues in 2 years. You're on issue 8, right here at the year mark, a little bit after that. But I mean, you're doing great, and everybody calls you what the queen
Merch
of
queen. Yeah, the queen of merch.
merch queen. Is that what it
Yeah.
is now?
Yeah. I think you started that, not me.
I think I said it was a queen of swag or something like that, and then it's just taken a life of its own. But I mean, you have ton. Well, we'll talk more about that later.
Look, he's trying to copy you.
I am. Look, I got to have.
Nice.
He didn't even buy me one.
I didn't buy him.
I have new plushies. Look at that.
Your plushie's amazing.
Yeah, that's my first commercially released Anubis.
Anubis. How many have you done?
So this is my first commercially released. I had to buy 100 of them. So but I have the handmade ones, of course. My new ones are the Sitting Hellhound, the Giant Salamander, and everyone's favorite, the Zombie Mental Patient with working straight jacket. And you can get
Dad.
That is.
Yeah, you could put your birthday on the back so that you could be the patient, or you could put somebody that you don't like, or someone that drives you crazy. You can embroider their. Yeah, I figured that was gonna come. So yeah, yeah. So that one's pre-order, so you can put whatever date you want on it. Hold on, my letterist just sent me a new page.
No
I
problem.
love it.
No problem.
He's working on issue 12, lettering 12. And my artist just did 6 pages from issue 13, the first 6 pages of issue 13.
So do you keep up with all the comic book news and stuff like that?
Nope.
Usually I try to keep about five subjects that we talk about. One of the first ones I really wanted to talk about was Ultimate Spider-Man. So that just came out about 3 weeks ago. Was that right?
Something like that.
4 weeks. So it's brand new. But whenever it came out, I think the issue price was about $5.99, and less than a month since it came out, it's selling for $50.
Why?
Because it's a good book.
Well, how many did they not make enough? Is it limited?
They made tons. They made tons, but it's just Spider-Man. Whenever they re-release a title, usually there is a little bit of a bump for Spider-Man because it's Spider-Man. And I guess there's a lot of people jumping on with the spec because there's a new characters being introduced, and everyone's thinking it's going to be, a major character, but also it's a Spider-Man title. And that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. I mean, spec is definitely alive and well. Yeah. People talk about how the comics are dying, but this right here is kind of a key, I guess, looky here, it's not dying if everybody's still out there buying this issue. And then on top of that, I don't know if you heard about the new Thundercat that was done by Rob Liefeld. Apparently,
I've seen posts, but I haven't seen the comic. But
yeah, apparently
it's selling really well.
Sold about 200,000, which again, in this marketplace, everyone's like, "Oh, no comic's going to sell that much," and here he is with a 200,000 sale comic. So, I mean, I don't think comics are dead or gone, and independents are getting stronger. You're on issue 8. I was on my 5th comic, 4th comic, 5 issues altogether. But, I don't think it's dead.
It's just taking a rest.
Well, I think the economy is just bad. So, like, not as many people can get it as they want to. Like, I had a lot of decreases and cancellations because people just have issues that come up, and it sucks.
Yeah, and then you're releasing, like I said, 8 issues a year. People are kind of probably like picking and choosing some things.
I don't know. This is my highest backer count.
But you're doing great. I mean, you've hit numbers that I haven't even seen, that some creators don't ever see in their careers. So it's like you're getting better,
I think the hardcover is helping the most.
Oh yeah.
Because it ups the pledge a lot. A lot of people bought the hardcover. I had a lot of new people join this one. I don't know how they're finding me because I haven't really posted much, but I'm glad they are.
Well, I'm sure word of mouth helps, and then the fact that you do so many interviews, of course, Queen of the Swag doesn't hurt either. Amazing items. I mean,
Yeah,
all this
it's like 30 tiers, and that's not including the add-ons.
right,
Say hello
right.
to Tammy, who's in there. Hi, Tammy.
Yeah, so I mean, it never hurts. A lot of brand new creators ask me, how to do it, and it's like, look at what Chris is doing. Look at what these people like Tom Hutchinson's doing. I mean, Tom's been in the business for a long time, and he's got a huge fan base. But
Who's Tom?
he's the one that wears the rabbit ears.
Cat ears.
Cat
Oh,
ears.
well, cat ears
Right,
for the.
right.
He might have rabbit ears too. I don't know.
Cat ears. I mistake his ears sometimes because me and him have different opinions on a lot of things, so I pick on his ears.
Nice.
But he's
Yeah,
got
he had critters that went over 20,000.
20,000. And see, people
I
think
have, and it's funny because I have a lot of people that have been around for a while asking where I get my merch or where I get my plushies or where I get my hardcover printed or I got asked yesterday where do I get my 3D 3D things printed. So I'm like, what were you guys doing before? I got asked by people that have been doing this for 5 years, how do you get on those shows? Like, I just search for them. You gotta
well, I like it. And again, we've had a discussion about this one. I think they just love you.
Yeah.
They don't want me on that often.
I did 145 last year, and those aren't including like the spontaneous one on the Madness. So
right.
yeah.
But I mean that like I said, you got to get it out there. I know this one creator, he was asking how to get his over a few thousand, and it's like, you got to go do the circuit, you got to talk to people, you got to push it, and he's like, I ain't got the time. Well, then you don't want the success then, because I mean, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes work. It's not an easy thing. I'm in about 40 stores now, which is, before it was 30 and now it's inching up there, but it takes the time. You got to go meet these people. You got to go talk to them. You got to go to conventions. And we met, man, a heck of a lot of people at this last convention. We might be featured at a Whatnot show. And again, this would be my second time. And it's one of those things that you got to put in the time and effort to get to where you want. And like I said, you're doing that. You're going out there on shows, which hadn't exactly been my hottest area, but everybody excels at one area or another.
Yep.
This kid doesn't excel that much.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can we compare what I excel at to the convention?
We don't speak of that.
Just jealous.
Hey, listen, just call and get guests on my show. He's my social media handler.
These are PR.
That's it. I needed that. I was stretched too thin. He doesn't understand how much it took. Look, we don't have a background.
Listen, man.
Because somebody thought it only took a minute. And I told him.
No. I was at school all day. Okay.
What did you do?
I was at school all day, all right? And then guess what we had to do when I got out of school? We had to go pick up medicine.
For my youngest.
And then
he's sick.
He decided, why not let's go to the comic store?
20
He decided.
minutes.
Who decided?
I told him 20 minutes. I was trying to be nice to you.
So what do you do all day, Paul?
Oh! I thought we were friends. What else?
He's talking smack about him. I want to know what he's at school. What are you doing? Stretch too thin?
All day today. Thank you. And I wanted to make sure he was okay. And I'm sorry.
One day. What else?
Exhausted from the convention that I had.
Where he sold all the stuff. That's where you're
Listen, he might have sold a decent amount of money's worth.
Oh, I heard he sold the con, so I don't know. You can't take it back now.
Who paid for the table? Who was responsible?
Apparently him.
Next
He's
one.
the one that made all the money. I don't know. It sounds like Dylan's the one that made all the money
He
because
paid me back if he made all. Well, he did make. He took me to steak. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to lie. He made a good amount of
I
money.
got you to
He
the
didn't pay
million,
for
man.
the table though.
$1 million man.
I met the $1 million
he should
man.
have just bought you a hot dog then.
He should have. I told him. I was like, let's go to
Yeah.
McDonald's. He's like, no steak.
Listen, Brandon wanted to go somewhere.
I didn't pick. It wasn't me.
Sure.
Don't put the blame on me. It wasn't me. Now, see, if you were here, I would have said, let's go eat steak.
Oh, of course.
No.
So I heard the convention, the snacks were sold out and stuff. They're that busy.
So the vendor right next to us was selling snacks. He was selling like a mystery bag. And he had brought a few hundred for the convention, and he sold out the first day.
Damn.
He went and bought some more, and he was like, this should last me the rest of the week. Sold out the second day.
Wow.
He even pulled statues out for the second day, at the end of the second day.
Yeah, and it was like his was selling out. His was selling out. I was selling out of PTSD, which I usually bring, a good amount, right? I mean, at least 100 books of just that one issue. And that was selling out. And then my second book, Cryptic Haze, I think I only got 2 copies left, which I think I took about, 50?
I want to say more like 20. We were running out of Cryptic Haze
It's more than
already.
20. It was somewhere in between. But even still, I only got 1 or 2 left of that.
Are you selling them for 5 or 10?
10.
Good.
I mean, don't get me wrong, every once in a while, excuse me, I'll throw a deal out there. But I mean, normally it's $10 a book. So I made a pretty penny myself.
But he made a pretty dollar. So you just made a penny and he made $1. I see how it is.
Oh, I made more. I made a quarter.
You said pretty penny, so I'm going by your information. So apparently you made a pretty penny and he made dollars. I don't know.
It was like a 1949
Right out of your
penny,
mouth, I heard
okay?
pretty penny. So I'm just gonna have to go by that info, and then that's it. Saying.
How rude.
Hey,
What's that mean?
what you mean?
I'm glad you had a good convention.
Yeah. So when are we going to see you at another convention?
I don't know. I don't travel as far as you. I think you're crazy. So
We'll
We
go
take
back out
that as a
there.
compliment.
We'll go back to Tennessee.
I'm gonna be in Nashville in June. That's
Yeah,
a long.
I'm
trip
pretty
there.
sure they're sold out already. That was a big one. Is it the Fanboy Expo again?
No, that's Knoxville. I'm in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like Fanboy. It was a huge con, but like the Wi-Fi was awful, and it was just I don't know. It was
Most of
loud
the
where I
cons-
was. So
Most of the cons, the Wi-Fi is bad.
I've never had it where I actually can't make a purchase. Like I could not sell at all. Like every other convention I was fine, but like I actually had to get a hotspot from one of the people wanting to buy so that I could use the credit card machine. So
Right. And that is a big deal whenever you are at conventions. There's so many people around that it messes with it sometimes. So, I mean, that's one thing to always let people know about. Conventions is another beast in itself. So.
yes, I hate them.
I'm trying to convince a friend of mine to actually bring his book to Kickstarter because he's selling through Diamond, and he's like, I'm not getting that much seen.
Didn't Diamond just do something? I just saw it. I literally just saw the post before you took forever to send the link. So yeah. So what's going on with Diamond? They did what to retailers?
I think they called off their convention. They usually have a convention every year. They called it off, which is a big deal because all the brick and mortars used to gather up and listen to the news and get on the same page kind of thing. And since they're going to cancel it this year, it's kind of like they're not taking into consideration what's going on at the storefront.
Did they have a reason for it to cancel it?
Honestly, I don't know yet. I haven't got to look into it just yet. Somebody had me busy. And so
I don't know. He was busy selling. I don't know what you were busy doing.
Whoa! I was
Wasn't
messaging
it?
you.
Oh no, he was messaging me. So yeah.
Listen, you're supposed to give
Strike
me a break
two.
here.
One more strike. You're out.
What's that mean?
No way, that mean.
Boop. but yeah, they canceled their convention, which is a big deal. Like I said, usually all the brick and mortar get invited out there, and they all kind of try to get on the same page. They usually take a bunch of information from the storefronts and kind of work with things. But since they're canceling the convention, it's going to be a big to do, and obviously they might be moving away from comics,
What else do they do?
books, games.
Really?
Yeah, I mean they're huge. They're not
Are
comics.
are they upset about Luna? Is that what the problem is? Didn't Luna
Well-
like steal Image from them or something?
Well, I mean, not just Image, but I mean, yeah, that's one of the things. It's like DC and Image and Marvel all going to different places with Luna and Penguin Random House, all these other places going. I think Diamond's kind of shifting away with that from them.
Well, Diamond's expensive, so it's really hard to get. I would never agree to it. I understand that it works for people, but it's just not worth it to. I'm not going to pay to advertise, not definitely get sold, and then give like 60% of my profits up. Like, it's not.
Where's the commercial? We do not accommodate the comments made by our guests. No, well,
I'm sorry that you can't deal with facts, but the
No,
fact
no,
is that you're-
I understand, and I'm with you. Like I was telling a friend of mine, I was like, he had gotten his book into Diamond, and he wasn't getting that much from it. And I told him, to me, the play isn't getting money from Diamond. It's the fact that you're getting your name out there. You're getting your name from coast to coast. And if you're getting your book in the shops, then you can get more store signings, which brings you more money. I've made more money at store signings than I have at conventions sometimes.
well,
So
because it's free at a book signing.
do I? Yeah, well, it's free at a book signing, but sometimes they don't let you in unless you're in Diamond. So it's kind of
I never had that.
well, I mean, again, it's not all of them, but it's some of them. And if you're in Diamond, you get that publication, you get that notoriety. There's some conventions that told me no because I'm not that big yet.
I would
If
tell
I
you no
was in
too.
Diamond, huh?
I would tell you no too, but for different reasons.
That's mean.
I got told no from Dragon Con.
I'm not gonna say names. Again, we do not endorse the comments. Well,
I wanted to get on like the to try to get a table there, but they said that I wasn't popular enough.
exactly. And don't get me wrong, because like I said, I understand you got to go out there, you got to pay your dues. And if you're in Diamond, you're seen more, and they consider you a little bit more higher status. And I'm not trying to be a popular person or anything like that, but
That's good.
if I can get, as long as I get to know you,
Yeah, of course.
but if I could get into a few, bookstore signings, I appreciate it. We appreciate it. And it's fun to get to know the customers at the stores and the conventions. If it takes getting into Diamond, then I definitely don't mind that. I'm not looking for a profit from Diamond. Of course, don't get me wrong. If they sell you 10,000, if they sell 10,000 of your books and you get $1 for each book, even if you get 50 cents per book.
Not when it's costing you like $5 to print it.
Do you know how they do it?
No, I was told that you have to give them your books or whatever.
Okay, so here's the thing. First of all, they won't take under a certain number. Like I think Diamond says.
Well, they just changed that.
Well, it's
That's what I
still
heard.
high. So I think the number, the lowest number that they'll take at the moment is 1,000. Okay, so if you go get 1,000 printed, they'll take them. Usually they take them a little bit above cost, and then what you get is a few cents back. So it's paying for the cost of the books, but you're not getting much profit from it, and that's why most people don't see much money from it. Usually you're not losing money. you're just not gaining it. And that's where a lot of the creators think, hey, if I'm in
Because
diamond,
you gotta pay, don't you have to pay to be in the book too? So it's not just that. You're also paying to be in it. If it was just that, it would be different, but you're also paying to be in it.
okay, so one of the toughest things to get into diamond is they want to know that you're going to be able to market that book, that it's going to sell. And so you have to pay it on the front end, but on the back end, usually everything's kind of leveled out to where you're not making anything.
That's very interesting.
And that again is usually where the creators are upset. They're like, hey, 1,000 of my books sold, but I only got $100 out of the entire thing. And they're like, it's not worth that much work, especially because you have to pay at the beginning, to get that evened up money kind of thing. So that's one of the things. It's like, it's hard to get in and you don't see that much of a return. But like I said, my play isn't diamond itself. It's the status quo, if you will, to get into the bookstores, to get into the conventions, to get it out there and get known a little bit. And that's what I think it's worth it. But most people are hoping for the big payday. I mean, I could be wrong. But
well, obviously, it's obviously not working out if they're thinking of not doing it anymore. So,
well, and like I said, I think Diamond is moving away basically because Marvel and DC are moving to other distributors.
Because Diamond sucks.
Hey, again, there was a reason that it was the main distributor for most.
Yeah, until they got greedy and they took all the money for themselves, and now everyone else is like, "Oh, this isn't worth it." So,
well, it's not that they took the money for themselves. The money kind of went away.
What do you mean? Nobody's making any money off of it but Diamond. They're the only ones making money off of it.
What I mean is, originally, whenever Diamond started becoming big, comics were selling, hundreds of thousands per cover, copy, whatever you want. Nowadays, if you're hitting those numbers, it's kind of outrageous. The Thundercats with Rob Liefeld is going to hit about 200,000, which nobody expected, because in this day of age,
I would believe that. People love it, nostalgia.
Nowadays, most comics don't hit that big. Back then, they did. So
I don't know. All of Lady Death Universe brings in like 700,000 per campaign.
Dollars.
Yeah, dollars.
Copies sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, not copies sold. So we're talking about copies sold. So because they used to sell a lot more, the creators saw a lot more money. Now that they don't sell as much, the creators don't see any money, and then they're complaining. So it's like that's another thing that creators, they don't go out there and market as much as they should. And I say this because I'm a creator as well. Getting out there and marketing is hard. Whether it's a digital marketing, you don't see that many people going on all the talk shows like you do. Most people don't want to do that. Most people don't want to go to the conventions as much as I do. Most people don't want to go to all the LCSs like I do. This is a hard stuff that if you want to be successful, you have to do. And they're like, well, it takes too much time. You're right. It does take too much time. Then find something that's not as time consuming.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the gist of it. People just wanted it to be easy. And, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Looks like everyone's trying to do it.
Well, everybody's trying to, and usually they drop out. And I hope people find a way to success. It's not just one method. Like I said, you're on Kickstarter and you're killing it. I haven't seen that return on Kickstarter, so I go to conventions and I try to do more LCSs than most people. And I'm trying to do Whatnot and all this other stuff. There's different venues, but most people jump in there, see that their way is not going to work by just writing a story or just, drawing and saying, hey, why isn't this working? Well, study the market. Anybody can have success. It's just a matter of how much you push, right?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Unless your story sucks.
Huh?
Unless your story sucks.
No, honestly, I think even if your story's bad, I'm not gonna say any names. I'm not. Again, I'm not exactly the best of critics, but there are comic books out there that are killing it and have bad art. There are comic
Oh,
books
I've
out
seen bad art.
there are
I've
comic
definitely
books
seen
out
bad
there
art.
that are killing it and have bad stories. If you are marketing well and if you are doing it, there are paths to success. It's not always just about having a great story. If it was about having a great story, my books would make millions. You know,
But you might be a little biased.
we would be we would be famous by now. But it's one of those things that you still have
what
to.
you're talking about. I'm already famous.
Yeah, I know who he is.
I'm gonna cut your hair.
My hair is phenomenal.
I'm gonna cut your hair. I'm gonna tie your shoelaces.
Don't be jealous of his hair.
I am jealous of his hair.
Yeah, he's got nice hair.
He's gonna go to sleep, and then I'm gonna have me a new head of hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll grow back.
Where's yours?
Remember, this is hereditary. Make fun. Hereditary.
It's actually hereditary in the mom's side, so he's safe. Yes, it is. Yes,
No,
it
he's
is.
not.
Look it up.
No, he's not.
Oh.
So, okay. So we're reaching about the halfway point. Let's talk about your campaign. I don't know if I can bring it up. My
the money.
my backup, my controller of social media usually brings it up and figures things out for me. Now he's kind of back there.
I definitely agree with the statement.
I got a different screen on me, so I didn't get to see it all.
He says, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's me.
And the thing about it is, everyone jumps in for making comics for different reasons. I did it by an accident. Mine was just a project between me and my kids. So I honestly think I'm a complete success already. But there's a lot of people out there that are saying, you can't make money off comics. Well, I've made money. I've been paying the bills off comics. I'm not rich where I can buy a car or anything. But we went to this convention, and I tell you what, we were poor going in, didn't have $1 or $2. We, barely had enough money for the convention and the hotel and the road trip and everything. Once we left the convention, the car broke down. And thankfully, we made enough money to fix the car. So I think you can make money if you try. It's just depending on how you do it. And if that's what your goal is, find a way to it. Don't just go out there and hope that, hey, I made a book, I'm going to make $1 million. That's not the way it works. You've got to have a plan.
It wasn't intentional for me to make comics. I just wound up having I think at the point I started, I had 50 issues already written, and now I have 100 and something.
Well, and even still, you're a great example, because before this, you didn't even want to get on streams.
Yeah.
I mean, remember that at the beginning? You were so shy, you didn't want to talk to anyone or see anybody. And now you've been on 50 interviews?
Well, 150 last year and 28 this year. So,
look, just because you're not comfortable with it, if you're trying to make a path to success for yourself, sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do, or you're not comfortable with, and you do become comfortable with. I wasn't on social media before my comics.
And I hired someone to do it.
No, I didn't. My Facebook was like 10 friends, and now I got over 1,000, like 300 friends on Facebook.
I've got 5,096.
I'm on Instagram.
Look, she's more popular than me.
Hey, I don't disagree. I'd follow her too. Anyway,
Sad you don't?
Yeah, I do. When don't I follow her? Anyway, let's pull up your campaign a little bit and get the focus off of me.
Smart.
I know.
Is he though?
Yes, I am.
Ta-da.
All right, can we see this?
Yes,
I can.
Awesome. So tell us about it.
So this is issue 8, which is book 2, chapter 1. Book one ended last October, and the hardcover came out. So you can get the hardcover 1 through 7, which is 222 pages for $39, and that seems to be the popular choice this time because it's a lot cheaper and it looks awesome and all that fun stuff. So it's pretty much Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Supernatural in the town of Silent Hill and the world of Resident Evil, with Good Omens and Evil Dead and The Crow tossed in there. And yeah, it's pretty much angels, demons, zombies, hellhounds, Anubis, the very popular Anubis, who we just added his better half to it. But well, no one's gonna see it for this year, but I just got the pages for it, so I love it. It's a cat.
So do we want to watch the video?
Sure. It's like 3 minutes though, so just be prepared.
Okay.
First part was my new song.
It's always my favorite part right there.
Always is.
Awesome.
Well, thank you.
So what exactly, does a new person need to know whenever they're coming into this? If they hadn't been, reading along, or if they don't know what it's about, like we know because we read it, right? Have you read it?
Yeah, I've read.
Well,
I've read some of them. Yeah. I don't think I finished.
What does a new person need to know?
Well, I mean, you'd want to read book one. But even if you didn't, you could actually enjoy it. You just be a little confused why they're after them. But you have angel descendant Seraphina and demon descendant Draven, and their fathers are after Seraphina because she was created from an angelic weapon. that she was created from. And if they retrieve this weapon, then they can tip the scales of heaven and hell in their favor. However, her father wants it for another reason, but we don't let on to what that is. However, unfortunately, to activate the weapon, it needs Seraphina's soul. And if they use her soul, then she can't be reincarnated or have an afterlife. So that way she can never be reunited with Draven. So obviously they're highly against that. So it's pretty much a survival horror story. And they just try to survive what they get through. So the first part, 1 through 7, they're kind of like in a Silent Hill type town that's merging with hell. And the ghosts are coming up. Some zombies are coming up. Anubis came up. Hellhounds and vampires. And then now at the end of that one, they got trapped into a haunted asylum, which now they're surrounded by ghost zombie mental patients and giant salamanders. And they're trying to get out and survive through everything there is. But unfortunately, if they do get out, they're just out of the fire into the out of the pan into the fire kind of thing, because they're all waiting for them outside, including Anubis, the hellhounds, the angels and demons, and all that stuff. So good times.
Good times. Now, I don't want to, I could spend all day on your campaign because I know how great it is. But let's talk about one specific tier. Is there one specific tier you want people to take attention to this time?
Probably the best tier is the hardcover and issue 8. Oh, by the way, I won awards too.
Saw that. That's awesome.
Yeah. There's actually one other award I won, but I didn't use it. I got best cover for issue 4. But yeah, so we have the hardcover in issue 8, so you can get everything in one foul swoop and be done with it. However, I do want to mention, so that's a very popular cover, but this one there is by Jeremy Rampack, who worked at Marvel, DC, IDW, Blizzard, Capcom. He's the interior artist for Injustice, but the only thing that I cared about is he is the internal artist for Resident Evil comic book. It also looks amazing and metal. So he did an amazing cover. I absolutely love it, and I'm very proud of it. We also have a new colorist this time, new letterer. So we leveled up.
Awesome.
Yeah,
it looks great. I mean, I've always been a fan, obviously. So, like I said, one specific tier that you want everybody to know about, because I do want to talk to you about you a little bit more.
Yeah. So the hardcover and issue 8, and then you get everything all at once. I think it's 49.
Tons of stuff. Again, whenever they call her the Queen of Swag or the Queen of Add-ons, there's definitely a reason. Check this out.
Is this it?
That's the regular printed issue 8. Yeah. Let's see the hardcover. Can you find that? Look at those. Tons of great stuff in there. Packed full of goodies, including pins and
metal trading cards, metal covers, Legos.
So definitely check it out.
Charms. Anubis, of course.
I think this is going to take an hour just getting through the add-ons. So let me talk to you about.
Oh, there it is.
Yes, that's the hardcover.
For the hardcover of issue.
Go 2 more because that's the hardcover, but you want to get 8 too. So, wow, there really is a lot. Keep going.
I'm telling you, the Queen of Swag, they call her that for a good reason.
Yep. So that's the one. The graphic novel for it's graphic novel and issue 8. So right there, you get everything you need. You get the PDFs 1 through 8. You get the buttons, and you get the the printed hardcover and the printed issue 8 with the regular cover. And so that right there is like your best value, your best option, and
yeah. So okay. You're doing great. You got all these add-ons. You're getting bigger and bigger. You're starting your own stream, your channel, right?
It's just for fun. I've been calling it the non-show.
You didn't have me on yet.
Yeah.
Me though.
You didn't have me on.
Yeah, Dylan's allowed.
This is the main thing I want to ask you about that, though. I mean, besides having me on or when I'm going to be on there, the main question I want to know is, if other people are out there and they want to be on the channel with you hosting, how does that happen? How do they get a hold of you? How do they come on your show? How do they talk to you about their projects?
Mine's called The Laziest Non-Show Ever. You pretty much just have to show up and say, I'd like to be on your show. I've had a couple people do it so far. And then you just show up, and up until we're full, which is 10 people, then you can't come on anymore. So we have generally Tom Hutchinson likes to be on it, me and Chad are on it. So we got a couple people that come on it regularly, but yeah, anyone can join. We've gotten pretty good reviews. It's only been like 4 times, but we've had a pretty good audience.
You never know. People might want to go on your show. I want them to know how to get onto your show, like I said.
Yeah. Add me, Corissa Grant. And then I have a weekly show every Monday around 8, sometimes 8:30, depends if I'm on someone else's show. But right now it's 8 is the time slot we're shooting for.
But I think that's great. I mean, here you are. You started this book. You went on to all these shows, and you were a guest at all these shows, and now you're hosting your own show.
Well, I ran out of shows.
Well, but that's great. It's like you're giving back to the people who are helping you out, and I think that's amazing.
That's the goal. We're trying to get people on there so they could show their Kickstarters and all that stuff.
Are you going to be featured on the Madness? Or are you going to jump in there with them?
Pops wants me to, but no, I'm just doing my own thing because I don't know. I feels like too much commitment to be on the Madness.
Right. No, I mean, it's not a problem. It's one of those things you choose. I'm here on my own, so yeah, you should definitely choose to be, have your show on your own if you want. I just didn't know, if it was going to be like a back-to-back show with your best friend or whatever.
Well, Dylan's allowed on anytime. But yeah, I mean, it's just really for fun. We talk about really bad movies and comics and pop culture, but generally we just like to chat. It's just a hangout kind of thing. Like we want people to come and watch, and generally we have about 10-15 people watching at once. But generally we're just there because we want to hang out with each other. So it's just for fun. Yeah.
We got to get together and do a big show with, both our audiences, maybe some free giveaways or something like that. Do something that in a few months, and maybe your next campaign, we can do a big kickoff show with your show and then come to my show for a few minutes and then back to your show. Something new, something exciting. Anyway, is there anything else you want to tell people? Do you want to let them know how to get a hold of you, what you're doing next?
Sure. So the best way to find me is on Kickstarter. I always have something live or in pre-launch or both. Right now I have issue 8 is live, and issue 9, it ends tomorrow, but issue 9 is already in pre-launch. I don't share out the link, but if you search Worthy Chaos, you'll find me. I'm the only one on there. So searching Worthy Chaos is the best way to find what's active and what's pre-launching and whatever. Issue 9 launches March 5th. We do every other month. We're doing at least 7 this year. 8 if we can fit it in, but we'll have to see how it goes. And then, because we want to do a hardcover at the end of the year. And issue so book 2 is only 5 issues, but book 3 is 10 issues. So I'm hoping to do some this year so we can get some next year. But yeah, so just and then you can find me on Facebook, Corissa Grant, and I'm on Twitter now too, but there's no traction there anymore. I have 5.3 thousand followers, and it's like the algorithm is just dead.
Yeah. But you do have your YouTube show?
Huh?
You have your YouTube show?
I do have a YouTube channel, Worthy Chaos, but I don't put anything on there. I'm probably going to start. So
is that not where you do your show on?
No, I just do it on Facebook.
Yeah. I thought it was on YouTube. Okay. So that's where to get a hold of you. Is there any other advice you want to give to new creators? And
only get into something that's you're really passionate about. And don't expect to make money. And yeah, and I would make sure you have a beginning, a middle, and an end before you even bother starting. So that's just me, though.
I agree with that. Okay, so we are coming back, and we're trying to go a show every week. We've got a few people lined up. Hopefully,
Bueller.
Bueller's probably in about 2 or 3 weeks. He's at MegaCon right now.
Right meow.
Not Rosario, but Lang. Is probably going to be on our show next week. We're hoping. He said he's going to try. So we've got a few people coming on the next few weeks, and hopefully we'll be back in the swing of things with new backgrounds and stuff. Somebody doesn't drag me away from things. Somebody also wanted to start a new show, 100 Days of Drawing, which I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
Maybe not.
If he does decide to do this new show, 100 Days of Drawings, he definitely wants Corissa on there just to keep him company. Other than that, get out there, go sell your comics, go make your comics. If y'all have any questions or any concerns, give me a holler. My name is Paul Gomez. I'm Paul Gomez 790. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Usually on Facebook, if you have any questions that needed answered. If I don't know the answers, I'll help find them. Also, and more important, it's okay not to be okay, but just don't live there. If you need a friend, need someone to talk to, hey, look me up. Paul Gomez 790. I'll be there anytime. Who are you?
Hardest working kid in comics.
And listen, I don't know what it is, but sometimes people forget things and people need help. Like, I don't know, forgetting to show the book that you were so excited about.
Yeah.
And that you wanted to tell the audience that it's going to be on your eBay.
Listen, y'all were talking.
He hasn't even reached for it. And he's like, this is a big deal.
Y'all were talking. Okay.
He's blaming you too.
Y'all.
Listen,
you were talking. Sorry. I can't. You got so much light in here.
Don't blame me.
It's 85, right?
Hey,
yes, it's 85.
People can see it.
No, they can't. It's so much glare.
I see it.
See, she sees it.
After the glare's gone.
Listen.
This will be on my eBay sometime this week.
What's your eBay?
Hardest working kid on comic. It's also at the bottom of the screen. So sometime this week, this will be on my eBay.
Iconic comic. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Thank you for all tuning in. Like I said, we'll be here next week. Corissa, we'll talk to you in a second. Have a great day. Have a great week. Uh-oh. Hardest working kid in comic.
Yeah.
We're gone.
Maybe. Wait.
You don't have my exit?
No, I made it.